Are you looking to build a YouTube channel as a real estate agent? Well, there's nobody better to help you with that than my good friend Karin Carr. This video is from a recent recording of the Agent Rise Webathon. If you want more videos like this, along with all of the resources, make sure you text the word Agent Rise to 44222. Again, text Agent Rise, all one word, to 44222. And so without further ado, here's my good friend Karin Carr showing you how to build your YouTube channel.
We're going to be talking about the 7 steps to actually getting business from your YouTube channel. So why even have a YouTube channel in the first place? Well, number one, because content marketing, right? So content marketing brings you very high quality leads. These are people that were out there on the internet looking for information when they came across your stuff. And so they're naturally going to be of a higher intent. It didn't just show up in their newsfeed. They were out there actively searching for it. You also get to attract your ideal clients, not only by the content that you're making, but by the personality that you display on camera. So if you are very serious and you're wearing a suit and tie all the time, you're going to attract a certain type of client. And if you're kind of goofy and you're wearing flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt and you're out on the beach all the time, you're going to attract a different kind of client. So you get to attract clients, but you also get to attract clients who are very similar personalities as you. And that is a whole benefit to this method that I never, ever even considered when I first started making videos. And I find that the people who call me all are so similar to me that we become best friends. We want to hang out, we have lunch, we go to dinner, on Saturday nights. And it's all because we are such similar personalities. So it just makes the whole transaction that much more enjoyable. You can absolutely get a steady stream of inbound leads from people that you would enjoy working with just by showing up on camera and being yourself. So here's a great example. This is the welcome video on my YouTube channel. The story was I had told my husband I wanted to make a parody. You know those listing tours where the guy pulls up in a Lamborghini and he gets out of the car in super slow motion and he looks like he's wearing $1,000 suit. And I wanted to make a parody of that. So I told my husband, I want you to film me. And when I get out of the car, I'm going to pretend to trip. Well, I was so good at tripping myself that I did a full-on face plant in my driveway. My shoe flew off. Everything flew out of my purse. I mean, I biffed it really, really hard. And he just kept right on filming because I had told him that I was going to pretend to trip. So he thought this was intentional. And after I didn't get up, he said, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And I just said, "Please tell me that you got that on film." And of course he did. So we left it in the video. So when I took the screenshot, it had had 1,100 views. It's had something like 6,000 views now. And people invariably either they don't like it at all, and so I will never hear from them, which is perfectly fine, or they call me and say, "Oh my gosh, I loved that video so much. I love that you don't take yourself too seriously. I love that you left it in there, that you were like brave enough to leave that in there." So the people that call me because they saw this video appreciate that about my personality. So it's just awesome. And by the way, did I mention that YouTube is completely free? We're not talking about boosting any posts here. This is all organic reach. But what about Facebook? Because we know that Facebook Live especially is so huge. Well, it is huge, but for me, it's like, is there as much intent on Facebook? Because if my video shows up in the news feed, they weren't looking for it. It just showed up in their news feed. Whereas if it's on YouTube, the only time they will ever see it is if they were searching for it. Either they did a search and it showed up in the search results, or they have watched videos on a similar subject before. So the YouTube algorithm says, aha, you've watched a lot of real estate videos in, Cincinnati, Ohio about buying a house with, buying your first house. So if you liked those videos, you would probably like this one too. The YouTube algorithm is trying to show your content to the person it would be the ideal viewer for this video. So I love that The content on YouTube is searchable. It really is a search engine and not a social media platform. It is owned by Google, for the 10 of you who did not know that. Google has owned YouTube for like 10 plus years. So it's kind of the video version of Google, if you will. It's a search engine and people are looking for your stuff. So how well does that work? Well, here's an example. I did an incognito search on Google, not on YouTube, on Google. And I typed in moving to Savannah. And of the very first thing that shows up is my blog post. The next thing that shows up are all YouTube videos. They are showing up on the first page of Google completely for free. And 2 of those videos are mine. The third one is a travel vlogger. So of the top 4 spots on Google, 3 of them are mine. This is huge. And anybody can do this in their market, because I guarantee you very few of your competitors are. It's super easy to dominate your market when you have no competition. So if you will just be the person that starts doing it, you will see results in no time. And I know that YouTube works because my team and I are getting at least 70% of our closings, not leads, clients, commission checks, and closings from our YouTube channel. So how did I stumble across this? I moved to Atlanta in 2015. I was starting over in a new market. I didn't really enjoy cold calling FSBOs and expireds. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try some content marketing. I'm going to blog. And blogging is very effective. And I really enjoy writing too. I mean, I would much rather write for an hour than call expireds for an hour. So I enjoyed it, but it's time consuming. It would take me a good week to write a 3,000 word blog post and have pictures and infographics and links and all the things. It would take me a good long time. So I then read a statistic that said if you embed a YouTube video in your blog post, it's something like 43 times more likely to rank on the first page of Google. And I went, oh, okay, so I'll just go to my local Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel and I'll find a video that's like an aerial drone shot of the town, and I'll put that in my blog post to help it rank better. I didn't want to use one of my competitors' videos, but I figured if it was from the tourism board or the Chamber of Commerce or the city, that I could share that in the blog post. And after a while, I thought, well, if I can do that, why don't I just make my own video? I mean, how hard can it be? Because you don't know what you don't know, right? And that began my love affair of YouTube. So I started making YouTube videos, not with any regularity, just here and there. And then my husband came home and said those words that every wife longs to hear. Hey, guess what? We're being transferred again. So we moved to Savannah in June of 2018. And not 5 days after we got there, I got the phone call that literally changed my life. He said, I found your YouTube videos. I've been watching all of your videos. I feel like I know you already. My wife and I are going to sell our house in New York. We're moving to Georgia. Will you help us? Will you be our realtor? And at that moment, it was like, ding, ding, ding. You don't know me, but I feel like I know you. And I just thought, holy cow. That was not because of my blog. That was because of my video. Like, it does work with blogging. It just takes longer for them to get to know you through the written word. It happens pretty quickly with video. So I figured I'm just going to skip right over the blog and go straight to making YouTube videos. And I decided I would make 1 YouTube video a week. And I was going to commit to it for 6 months just to see what would happen, because why not? I'm brand new in another town. I got no market share. I got no name recognition. I got nothing going on. I've got lots of free time. I got no business, but I got lots of free time. So what if I made 1 video a week? Well, my business completely exploded to the point where in less than a year, I was being asked to speak at Inman Connect about using YouTube. I mean, I was a guest on Neil's podcast. I was teaching classes on YouTube to other real estate agents. I had to form a team because I couldn't keep up with all the business I was getting myself. Like, within a year, everything changed. And when I tell you that YouTube leads are totally different from other internet leads, I can't overestimate this enough, because they're not calling about a house. They're calling because they want to talk to you. They're not calling because they were really interested in 321 Magnolia Street and they want to see the house. and you're just the necessary evil that they have to put up with. You're the person that's going to open the door, but if you're not available, fine, I'll find somebody else, because you're all interchangeable and you all do the same thing. That's their perception, right? But if they find you on YouTube and they say, will you help me? It's because they've chosen you already, and they hardly ever even interview anybody else. It's amazing. So I hope that I can convince you by the end of this call that you should be giving YouTube a shot. So let's talk about how you can do this for yourself. There are 7 steps that I go through in every single video that I make that will get your phone to ring. So first, let's talk about the gear, because everyone asks, what do you need? My philosophy is as little as possible. Use what you've got. If you have a phone and your phone is less than 3 years old, film on your phone. If you have a camera that's a really good quality camera and it sits in your closet gathering dust and you never use it, by all means, pull it out, dust it off, use that, because it's probably a really, really good quality lens. But if you don't have that, use your phone. I do recommend that you get an external microphone, simply because when you are talking across the room to your camera source, if you have to yell to be heard, or if the room is very loud and echoey, or if you're outside and now we hear traffic noise and stuff like that, if you have a little clip-on microphone, a lavalier mic that you can get for, I'm talking like $15 on Amazon. It does not have to be anything expensive. And then it just plugs into the headphones jack on your phone. It really ups the quality of your audio. You do need some decent lighting. So right now I am sitting at my desk and I am facing a window. It was sunny outside and I could have gotten away with no lights whatsoever, but I also have a light here and a light here. So they're kind of at a 45-degree angle and they're pointing at me this way. They don't have to be expensive. You can get a set of 2 on Amazon for like $50 for both of them, and they are professional quality studio lights. But if you can face a window, that's probably enough, as long as it's not a real cloudy day and as long as you're not filming after dark. If you're filming after the kids go to bed, you're going to need some lights. So get a couple of lights. Again, they don't have to be super expensive. They just need to be adequate. And then you want something to hold the camera so that it's steady and it's not shaky. Not even a selfie stick. I don't recommend that unless you're doing a walking, like a vlog where you're walking while talking to the camera, or you're showing off a neighborhood, because it will be shaky. Like if you're moving and you're holding it, you could use a gimbal, but now we're getting into more expensive stuff that's more complicated, and don't overcomplicate it. So just get a cheap tripod, or put your phone like on a bookcase leaning against the book, so it's holding it upright, it's holding it steady. Put the camera at eye level and then just a teeny bit above so that you're looking up to it. Because I am looking up to the webcam on my computer right now, and I feel like this is a flattering angle. Whereas if you put it below eye level, we start to get this going on, and nobody wants to see your double chin, right? And we don't want the camera looking up your nose either. That's never a good look. So put it at eye level and up just a tiny little bit, and you will be golden. So now we're ready to film. What are we going to talk about? Number one, I want you to research your topic. Let's say that you're just brainstorming ideas and you come up with an idea for a video, because again, YouTube is a search engine. So we want you to show up in the search results, either in Google or YouTube, when somebody does a search. Now, let's say that you live in San Antonio, and you decide that you want to make a video for people that are relocating to San Antonio. So if you went to Google and you typed in relocation guide San Antonio, these are all of the things that Google suggests you could also use as a search engine, a keyword, if you will. And moving to San Antonio, where to live, moving to San Antonio, pros and cons, San Antonio newcomer advice, newcomer guide. These are all great topics for your video, and you know that people are Googling them because Google is telling you people have typed this into the Google search bar in the last 30 days. So how do we figure out which one of them would be the best one? You want to use some sort of keyword research tool. And I have a couple that I really, really love, but Uber Suggest is completely free. So maybe start there. If you go to ubersuggest.com and you're going to type in your idea for the video. In this example, I said, what does OTP mean? If you live in Atlanta, there is this term called outside the perimeter and inside the perimeter. And when you're new to the area, you don't know what that means. So let's just see if I called my video, what does OTP mean? Let's see what Uber Suggest says. They say that 49,500 people a month are typing, what does OTP mean, into the search bar. That is amazing. And then the SEO difficulty of how hard would it be for you to rank on the first page of search results? They say that it's easy. On a scale of 1 to 100, it gets a 20, which is pretty low, right? Then what if you said, okay, where to live in Atlanta? That one gets fewer searches, 390. And they say that that's a low search volume, but I disagree because that is 390 people who are raising their hand and identifying the fact that they need to move. They're going to find a place to live. And a lot of those people are going to buy. A lot of them will rent, but a lot of them are going to buy too. So they're typing in where to live in Atlanta. You could make a video about where to live in Atlanta and you just do a whole bunch of like a synopsis of, 5 of your favorite suburbs, for example. And that one gets an SEO difficulty of 7. On a scale of 1 to 100, it gets a 7. Like it doesn't get a lot lower than that, folks. So they're telling you there's a 93% chance that you could rank in the top 20 if you made a great piece of content using the keyword where to live in Atlanta. I like them odds. How about you? 93% chance of ranking organically on the first page? Hello. So do your keyword research first and then go make your video. I see too many people that make the video first and then they try to figure out how to get a good keyword out of that. You're doing it backwards. Do the keyword research first and then go make your video. So here's another example. We do an incognito search in YouTube this time. And if you type in Savannah, Georgia real estate, 7 of the top 10 videos are mine. So people come, they do a search. I dominate the search results because hardly anybody else is doing this. And then they think I'm the only real estate agent in town. And I will tell you what, I am perfectly happy to let them think that, right? So step number 2 then is the hook. When the video starts, you've got about 7 seconds to capture their attention. So you have to make it good. You do not want to start with this big, long, rambling introduction because ain't nobody got the patience for that anymore. They're going to watch it. And if you don't get to the good stuff pretty darn quickly, they're going to hit the back button and go watch something else. So right away, you've got to tell them what the video is about. No rambling, please. So let's say that your idea for the video was, do you really need a home inspection? A good hook might be something like, if you're planning to buy a house this year, you're probably wondering, do you really need a home inspection? Well, let's answer that question right now. That's it. It was very short and sweet. It makes it so that they see your title, your thumbnail show up in the search results. They click on it and now they go, oh, this is what I thought the video was going to be about. I'm in the right place. I'm going to stick around. That's really the job of the hook, to make sure that they feel like they're in the right place and they don't want to leave. We want them to stay and watch your video. Then we're going to have a little bit of visual branding. And this is simply a visual animated logo of some sort so that when they see this over and over on every video that you do, it gets to the point where they can almost hum along with it because they've heard the music so many times. Or if you've got a tagline, they can say it along. It's reinforcing the brand in their head. Just like when back in the day, we all used to watch Friends on Thursday nights, you guys could sing along the theme song because you heard it every single week before the episode started. This is pretty much the same thing. So it doesn't have to be anything major. Here's what mine looks like. That's it. It was 5 seconds long. It was literally just my brokerage, the brokerage logo, a little bit of catchy music, my brand colors, and then boom, it's over. So it's not enough to make them get bored and get tired of waiting and leave. You don't want to do like this 30-second montage of you walking around showing houses and meeting with clients and sitting at the closing table signing documents and putting the sold sign on your front sign in your front yard. Like, people don't care about us at this point. They don't know who you are. They don't need to see a big commercial about us. Just show them who you are and then get back out. Then after, oh, how do we make that thing? So you can buy it on Fiverr, like 10 bucks, $5. You'll find a ton of people on Fiverr that would make that for you. If you're artsy or you just don't want to spend the money, you can absolutely make one yourself in Canva or using something like Ripple or Animaker. You can even make it in PowerPoint if you wanted to, or Keynote. But the point is just get one done and then use it consistently. So step number 4 is now a brief introduction of yourself. But when I say brief, I mean brief. Please do not talk about here you're a top producer and you've got this designation and that designation and you sell so many houses a year and you've been in real estate for 15 years, because you know what? Nobody cares. They did not come to YouTube to watch a commercial. They came because they had a question and they did a Google search. And if you are lucky enough to show up in their search results and they click on your video, do not abuse that trust by immediately trying to sell to them, okay? This is all about them. It's not about us. Answer their question. Tell them who you are and where you're located and the company that you're with, so you don't get in trouble with the governing board for your state or your country, wherever you are. But don't make it all about you. Make it about the question that they had, and let's start talking about it. So now we get to the topic, and it sounds like that was a lot of work, but honestly, this will take like 30 seconds at most. You give your hook, you have your animated intro, you come back, you briefly introduce yourself, and now you're ready to start talking about your topic. That should roughly take 30 seconds max. So now here we are, we're going to restate the hook. So you're thinking about buying a house and you want to know if you really need a home inspection. And then you start talking about it. And you're just going to tell them the same things that you tell to every buyer that you have on every transaction when they don't know. Like, do I really need to pay for the home inspection? The house is brand new. Isn't that covered by the builder's walkthrough? Or I just paid $400 for an appraisal. Why do I need a home inspection too? You're going to answer all of those questions in your video, right? I find that about 15 minutes of filming will give me 5 minutes of edited footage. And the reason I say that is because I do not film expecting that it's going to go flawlessly and I won't make any mistakes. That is totally unrealistic. Even if you have a background in broadcast journalism, you still mess up. So I like to lean forward, press record, and then I leave it the whole time. I don't press start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, because then I end up with 19,000 clips. I prefer to just press start, do my entire thing, press stop. And if I trip over my words, if I don't know, the doorbell rings, I forgot to put the phone on vibrate and the phone rings, the dog barks, whatever, I just went off the rails and I had completely deviated from my topic, then I just say, okay, forget that, stop, we're going to start over again. And then I start that paragraph again from there, knowing that when we edit it, we're just going to cut that part out. So then we're going to wrap it up and have a really good call to action. So you get to the end of the video and you say, if you know anyone looking to buy or sell a home in X town, call me. That is not a good call to action on YouTube, because once again, you're making it all about what can you do for me instead of what can I do for you. What I find that works extremely well is sending them to a landing page. So in this example, it was like, why do I need a home inspection? And we say, so now you know why you need a home inspection, but do you know what the home inspector is looking for? Not to worry, I've got a free checklist for you. Go get it right now. They click on it and they either give me their name, email, phone number, and then I ask a question where I say, how soon are you looking to move? And they either fill it out or they don't. If they don't fill it out, they don't get the checklist. But if they do fill it out, they usually give me their legitimate contact information, like 85% of the time minimum, because I have earned their trust at this point, because I gave them the information they wanted. I asked for nothing in return. I wasn't asking them to call me and hire me and I would love to serve you. And I wasn't asking, I'm simply offering. If you want my free home inspection checklist, you can go get it here. Now, when they click on it, yes, I do get something in return. I get their contact information. But if I've done a good job with my video, they will give it to me. So how well does this work? At the time when I took the screenshot, and there's been a heck of a lot more since then, I had 91 views on the landing page and gotten 30 leads from it. So do you think that of those 30 leads, a lot of those people turned into actual clients who did business with my team? Heck yeah. So the last step in this whole process is to try to keep them watching the video as long as possible. Why? Well, because YouTube rewards you for watch time. If you make a video and it's 10 minutes long and they watch at least 50% of that video, YouTube says, aha, she brings people to the platform. They stay for a long time. They see more ads, because that's what YouTube's goal is, to bring you onto their platform. And the longer you stay, the more ads that you see. That makes the algorithm happy. And now the algorithm says, then I'm going to show your video to more potential people. I'm going to have you show up higher in the search results, and I'm going to suggest it to more people because the video is getting a lot of positive engagement signals. So how do you keep them watching? Well, you could tease them with a freebie. So you could say something like, today we're going to talk about why you need a home inspection. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to have a free download for you. You could put all of your bloopers at the end. People love to see where you mess up. So if you make like an outtake reel and you put that at the very end, and you do that with every video, people start to get trained of, oh, all the funny stuff's going to be right at the very end. And so they just naturally stick around because they want to see all the funny stuff. You could tease with an extra bonus tip. So today I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons to blah, blah, blah. And if you stick around to the end, the 6th bonus tip is even better than all the other 5, something like that. But mostly you just have to be interesting. So when you're filming, you've got to make the video interesting. You don't want to have just one camera shot where it's looking at your face the entire time and we have nothing else to show the viewer. You want to show them, like if you're talking about a neighborhood and you say the neighborhood has a beautiful pool, you got to show the pool. You've got to give them B-roll. You've got to give them other things to look at besides you. As fabulous as we are, they want other things to look at besides us. So just practice having a little bit more energy when you get on camera, and you will be able to keep their attention better. And I promise you, if you do these steps with all of your videos, it absolutely will pay off. It is no exaggeration to say that YouTube has completely changed my business. And in fact, it's changed my life. It's just crazy. Here is a great example, because I know you're also worried about getting business in this time. Last Monday, my video of the week was, can you still see houses during the coronavirus outbreak? And I talked about how we were going to do a lot of virtual tours and all of the safety precautions that we were going to take. Yes, maybe we won't go see as many houses in person, but if you really need to do it, here's how we're going to do it, so that we try to minimize everybody's exposure and we keep everyone safe. And then I got this email. So she said, we've been thinking about moving to Savannah from Colorado. And of course, the minute we decide to pull the trigger on it, this happens. So I watched your video today where you talked about this. Are you able to be our realtor? Those are the best emails. Those are the best clients you will ever get, because they've already chosen you by the time they even send that email. So when you pick up the phone and you call them and say, hey, I just got your email, I'm so nice to hear from you, they invariably say something like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to a celebrity. I can't believe you called me. This is so cool. Not only are they willing to talk to you, they're excited to talk to you. They actually pick up the phone when you call them and they're happy to hear from you. Compare that to other types of internet leads, right? Where it's like pulling teeth just to get them to tell you what their budget was. So the other thing I hear all the time is that it takes too long. Well, making videos absolutely counts as lead generation time. So if you put this on your calendar of, I'm going to record 1 video a week, Once that video really pops on YouTube and it starts getting lots and lots of views and people start calling you from that video, you're going to get leads from this over and over and over again. And it doesn't have to happen with every video. So if you make 20 videos and only 3 of them are really solid lead producers, that's okay. You're still going to get more leads than you know what to do with. So can you do this? It's not that hard, I promise. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It just takes consistency and discipline. I know that you can do it. And in this time, we got a whole lot of free time on our hands, so why not give it a shot? So if you wanted to learn more about it, I've got a whole Facebook group for real estate agents. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. Feel free to follow that. And if you want to go to my YouTube channel where I give more tips like this, it's just, oh, I put in the wrong link. Sorry, it was youtube.com/Karin Carr. My bad, I put in the wrong link. Oh well.
We'll
It's
correct it.
youtube.com/Karin Carr.
We'll get it. We'll post it in the group.
Okay, cool.
In the chat. There's a lot of questions that came in. I'm going to ask.
Okay, cool.
We got Chelsea coming up. We're in 2 minutes. I'm going to bring Chelsea.
Okay.
So one question is, do you recommend naming the YouTube channel your name or something about the city?
However you want to be found. Like I named it after my team name, which is Georgia Coast Homes, because I didn't want it to be all about me. I wanted my team members to make videos too. So we named it the name of the team. But honestly, when people do the search, they're going to find an individual video. So I don't think it really makes that big of a difference what the name of the channel is, as long as it's very obvious what the channel is about and where you're located.
Okay, perfect. What do you use to edit your videos?
I started with iMovie because it's free with a Mac, which is what I have. I've since changed to WeVideo, which is an online video editing program. It's relatively inexpensive. It's got a ton of amazing features. It works on PC or Mac. It's completely cloud-based, so you can start on your laptop and then finish on your desktop, and then your editor can log in and do more stuff for you. I now have a virtual assistant in the Philippines who does all my editing for me.
Awesome. Awesome. And where do you get your music from?
From YouTube. If you log into YouTube, in the bottom left corner, it says audio library, and they've got tons and tons and tons of songs that are completely free. I usually just pick one.
Awesome. You are the best. And you guys, she also has a book, YouTube for Agents. That's on Amazon. We had that question. You can go get the book. We'll put the correct link to her Facebook group and her YouTube channel, so you can go check that out. You can also just search YouTube for Real Estate Agents and she will show up.
Yeah.
So you're there, and then you were the best. I thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Right back at you.
Awesome.
I'll go into the chat and I'll answer some questions for you if you need me to.
There's a lot more questions in there that we didn't have time to get to, so just answer on there. That'd be great.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Neil.